All right, if you're in the middle of a long work day, if you slept badly, this one's for you. Let's get that neck nice and released and feeling better, okay? We're gonna start in a seated position, can be on the floor or on the knees, and we're gonna let those arms hang down by your side. We're gonna start with the classic neck roll. You can close your eyes here. Let's bring that head from one side through the front towards the other. And then just keep that going. We're gonna be here for a bit. And as we rotate from side to side, I want each rep to get a little bit deeper so you feel your head getting a little bit more heavy. And kind of feel out that stretch. Feel where that tension is holding on. Often it's down the sides of our necks into our traps. Could be also top of that back or even in the front near the collarbones. But try to become aware of where that tension is being held. We'll be here for another 30 seconds, so finding your own pace. We'll do the last two. We'll do last one. And we'll come back to center from there. We're gonna go into shoulder rotation. So we're gonna move our shoulders in circles. I'll face sideways so you guys can see better. And I want you to emphasize that shoulder roll. So we're gonna start by rolling back, okay? And I want you to really squeeze up those shoulders towards the ears, pull them back down into your shoulder blades and coming back through each time. So you're emphasizing that circle, trying to move as big as you can here, only through the shoulders, okay? So we're not arching at the back necessarily, but we're opening up through the chest rather than thinking about the spine, if that makes sense, okay? So really focusing that through. Really squeezing at the top. We wanna get blood flow into this area. Let's do another 4. Another 3. Last 2, big squeeze. Last 1, and we rotate other way. So let's go to the front this time, same concept. Squeezing through that entire circle. Starting to maybe become aware of where it feels good to squeeze, where it doesn't feel too good to squeeze. Always nice to stay in tune with your body. Not only does it bring us to the present moment, but helps us learn a little bit about what's going on inside of our bodies. Let's do last 3. Last 2, big squeeze. And last 1. All right. From there, we're gonna go into a tabletop position. I am going to have my hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and I'm gonna get my hands out nice and wide, okay? So from that tabletop, hands out nice and wide here, I'm gonna start dipping one shoulder down towards the floor at a time. Coming back up, switching sides. So you can kind of think that one elbow is always gonna be bent, one elbow is always gonna be straight, and as you rotate down, you're looking over at that bent elbow. And on that straight arm, that shoulder is being pulled towards the ground away from your face. So I'm not just flopping my body down towards the ground here. I'm really pulling that shoulder away from the body, reaching it towards the ground, and then coming back up. Should here be feeling a stretch through the front of that shoulder, top of the shoulder, bicep, but also the neck. All of this is really connected, so it's important that we don't just work the focus area, but the areas around it as well. We'll do a couple more here, pushing that shoulder down. Let's do 4 more, 2 more on each side. Good, we got 2 more. And we got last one. On this last one, we're gonna hold, okay? So holding in this position, my shoulder is not touching the ground, but it's reaching for the ground, but it's just hovering above the ground. So I'm putting a bit of tension into that push, and I'm pushing that shoulder towards the floor for another 5 seconds. You should be feeling quite a stretch through the bicep, shoulder, and maybe the neck. 3, 2, 1, and we're gonna switch sides, going into that hold, pushing that shoulder towards the floor, but it's not quite touching. Good, pushing it there. Let's do another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll come up. Nice. From there, moving onto the floor even further, you're gonna be up on the elbows here. Feet can be on the floor, hips are on the floor, and we're gonna get that chest up nice and proud, okay? So you're nice and proud through the front of your body, through that chest, palms facing on the floor, and we're gonna let that head just hang down, and then roll around towards the side, and then coming back through to the other side. So similar to what we started this video with. Classic neck roll, trying to feel where that tension is being held. Your head getting heavier with each rotation here. Rolling through it. Good. Let's do another 3. Not letting that chest drop. Staying proud. Another 2. We'll do last one. And from there, we're gonna let that head just hang, okay? So just bring that chin towards the chest, letting that head just hang down towards the floor. We're gonna be here for about 30. So you want to let your head get nice and heavy as time passes, inching closer and closer to the floor. On your exhales, maybe releasing a bit of tension from wherever is needed. Tucking that chin a little bit closer into the chest. Let's do last 2 deep breaths. Let's do last one. Nice. From there, we're going to make our way back to a kneeling or a seated position, similar to what we started the session with. We're going to go through those neck rolls again. Maybe you're going to feel a little bit more open now from start to finish. Arms are going to hang out by your sides. Head is going to roll from one side through the front to the other. We're going to do a couple of these before we hold. Again, maybe feeling your head a little bit closer to your shoulders, your chest as you roll through. Let's do last 2 rotations. We'll do last one. And on that side, wherever you are, we're going to hold. We can either hold it there or take that hand, place it gently on top of the head. The neck is a sensitive one, so don't pull too hard. But just gently place that hand, let that weight over time bring your head down, opening up that neck, a lot of space here between the jaw and the shoulder. And that other arm is either hanging out by your side or even extending away from the body. Maybe you're reaching for the ground a little bit or just reaching away from you. You should feel quite an intense stretch here through the side of the neck. Maybe down into the shoulders, down into the traps. We'll hold it here for a bit longer. Exhaling, releasing that tension. Let's do another 3 deep breaths. Let's do last inhale. And exhaling, we're going to move it over to the other side, rolling through the front, other side, gently placing that hand on top of the head. If we can, straight arm pointing away from us, slightly away from the body. Focusing on your exhales, releasing that tension each time. A lot of space being created between the top of your shoulder and your jaw. Let's take last deep breaths here. Maybe pulling that head a little bit more on this last deep inhale. And exhaling, We're gonna come back up, last one. We're gonna do that same thing with our head to the front. So bringing that chin towards your chest, head comes down, nice proud posture through the spine. Both hands behind the base of the head is optional here, but if you're gonna do so, you're gonna gently, gently, slowly bring that head a little bit closer to the chest and feel that stretch on the back of your neck, through that cervical spine, that top of the spine. Same thing here, exhaling, releasing that tension from whatever it needs to be released. Option to start kind of swiveling that head from left to right here. Maybe feeling different sensations as you go from left to right. Let's take last 2 deep breaths. Let's take a last deep inhale. And we are finished. I hope you guys feel relief. I feel like the neck is really a problem area for a lot of people and they don't even know it. A lot of us hold a lot of tension up in the traps here and it's important to keep that mobile and stress-free. So hope you're feeling good and I will see you next time.